JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 27th of July 2020, so yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, some of the charts that we looked at this morning just to see how everything's kind of getting along. But yeah, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, jumping into the charts, now the first one on the touch on here is the German DAX. Now this is just a quick update. To be honest, not much has changed from this morning's analysis. We still remain above this upside support line taken from the low of the 19th of March. However, what I was mentioning this morning was that in order to kind of get a little bit more excited about higher levels, maybe we would prefer to see this one pushing back above the June high here near the 12,913 territory. But as you can see, the German DAX continues to kind of remain kind of neutral for the day, and is just not moving anywhere. It's just stuck here above this upside line, but below this 12,913 level, which is the highest point of June. So in a way, for now, we're just waiting. We're playing the waiting game, and in order to aim for some lower levels, well, of course, we need to see a break of this upside line, and then, yep, we could consider some further declines. But again, for now, as long as it stays above this upside line, there is still a good chance we could see this index drifting, drifting higher. So that's why be very careful for now. If you're more on the cautious side, you could just wait for a push above the this 13,236-37 zone marked by the high of the near the high of the 24th of February this year. Now jumping into NASDAQ 100, and the index here is well, it is quite interesting. So last week basically I talked about this one a lot, and what I was saying that even if we get a break of this upside line, then yes, we would, in addition to that, we would like to see a nice good clear move and a clear break, and ideally a clear daily close below this area here, below these two levels, the 10,307 zone and the 10,371 territory. So we got a drop below the 10,370 territory. That's, by the way, the low of the this inside swing low here, the low of the 14th of July, and then the index drifted a little bit lower and tested this other area that I talked about, this 10,307 zone, from which it rebounded on Friday and made its way back to the upside. However, was not able to close the Friday's trading session in the positive territory and remained below this upside line. Now, what I was saying previously, that we needed to see a nice good daily close below this area, at least below this 10,307 zone, in order to aim for some lower levels, because in such a move would kind of confirm a possible a double top here, and we could see this one kind of drifting further south, but that didn't happen, and the index drifted higher, but again it remained below this upside line, so we can't really even get comfortable with the upside. So in a way, for us to maybe for us to kind of maybe consider some upside here again, probably we'll wait for a push back above this 10,843 territory, roughly around here. As you can see, on the 10th of July it acted as a good area of resistance. Then last week on Tuesday and Wednesday. It acted as a support zone, and yep, so that's why maybe a pushback above this area could invite a few more extra buyers into the game. So that's why for now, guys, probably will remain on the neutral side here and just continue observing the price action, because what I don't want to see here is basically if this one's gonna start pushing back up here, basically we could be getting ourselves here a wide range in the end. But again, that's maybe too early to kind of talk about. However, it's something that you could keep in mind for yourselves, just in case if you see this one. Like I said, if you see this one kind of pushing higher again right now towards these higher levels, this all-time high, and yep, of course, like I said, something kind of for you guys to keep in mind. So let's see if something like that works out. But basically, long story short, we need some confirmation breaks first before considering either kind of the next short-term directional move. Now jumping into gold, the kind of the most popular one, which was the most popular one last week and today as well, and yep, all focus is on gold right now, because gold has been hitting its all-time highs, and yep, today it did exactly that. It reached the 1944 territory, and this is what I was talking about this morning. If you were watching my video this morning, then I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this level, because if gold, for example, will now struggle to overcome this 1944 level in the next couple of days, then well, we may see a bit of a correction here to the downside. This idea could be kind of supported also with the with a fall below the psychological 1900 level, and then yes, we will aim for this upside support line taken from the low of the 20th of March, which in a way, if remains intact, could be a nice area for the bulls to step in again and drive this one higher. But if this, of course, continues to push above the 1944 territory, then, well, I mean, of course, this could be opening the path towards that psychological 2000 level, and it would be quite interesting actually to see a test of that area. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, let's see if this 1944 level continues to provide resistance. Now, jumping into one of the cryptos here this morning, I talked about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and now it's the turn of Ripple, and Ripple maybe performing not the let's say the most interestingly, if I can use that word. Basically, as we saw, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the top kind of performers. Here, Ripple is doing a good job as well. It is trying to get back to Sunday's high, but for now everything's kind of working according to plan. I talked about this crypto last week, and basically what I was saying, that if we get a nice push above this the highest point of June here near the 0.2152 territory, then yes, the next target for us is the highest point of April near the 0.2357. so keep your eyes on that one. And for now, I'm not gonna drag this one way too much to the upside. For now, it's just gonna be this target, the highest point of April of this year, and then we'll pick up on that one if we see a test of this area. If we wants to push further north, that's great. Of course, this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, but again, let's be, like I said, let's be on the careful, on the cautious side, and let's see how this is gonna play out. If by any chance this suddenly starts falling back below the 0.2152 territory or the 200-day EMA, then maybe not all is well here in the bull block, and well, I mean, maybe we could see a bit of a correction here to the downside again. Now jumping into a few pairs very quickly. So US dollar against the Swiss franc, I talked about this one this morning, and this is exactly what I was saying, guys, to you this morning. Basically, keep your eyes on this level, the 0.9184 zone, which is the lowest point of March. The pair in the morning, the pair was drifting below this level, and what I was saying, that if we get the daily candle staying below this area, then yes, further declines could be possible. But if by any chance the bulls manage to get the get the rate back well back above this 0.9184 territory, then maybe we could see a bit of a correction here to the upside, and maybe we'll start aiming for this 0.9322 level again. So of course, as you can see, we are trading below some of these downside lines, so one of which is this one here, taken from the high of the 23rd of March, but a slightly shorter term one is taken from here. Let me just put this one on the chart. This one's taken roughly from around the high of the 28th of May, and in a way, if the rate does stay here, if this daily candle remains above this this barrier, the 0.9184 territory, then maybe we could aim for a bit of a correction here to the upside. So again, for now, all eyes are on this level, the 0.9184. So let's see how this is going to play out, and probably going to pick up on this one tomorrow just to see how everything played out. GBPAUD, quick update here. So I talked about this pair last week, and I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this barrier here, the 1.82 territory, which I've marked last week as the one to watch out, after a break of which we could aim for some higher levels. But for now, basically, it's not there yet. But from a slightly more shorter term perspective, what you could do as well here is keep your eyes on the high of the 20th of July, which is basically the high of last week, and that's roughly around 1.8068 zone. So basically, a nice good push above this barrier, above the 1.8068, which marks the high of last week, could maybe open the door towards some higher levels. And this, for now, you can see that the pair is trying to kind of remain above this 21-day EMA. Last week on Friday, it did try to kind of climb above this 21-day EMA, but failed to close a daily candle. Today we're seeing another attempt to do so, but the big question here is, can it stay above it, and can it stay above this 21-day EMA? If it can, then maybe this could increase the chances for GBPAUD to kind of travel higher. However, as I said, if we get a push above the 1.8068 territory, that could be just the foot in the door, and this could potentially open the door towards this 1.82 zone. But again, the more comfortable level, after a break of which I would consider maybe some more upside, then yeah, could come after a break of the 1.82 zone. But again, we need to get there first, and in order to aim for that level, we need to see at least a push above the high of last week. EURGBP here, the pair is at an interesting spot. So excuse me, guys. Last week I spoke about this pair, and I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on the high of last week near the 0.9138 zone, not the top one, not the top line here, but this one below it, and that was the high of last week. So basically, similar story as with GBPAUD. Also, a push above the high of last week could maybe open the door to slightly higher levels, but still a push above the highest point of June would be required before, let's say, aiming for some higher levels, and that highest point of June is near the 0.9175 territory, roughly around there. So today we saw the rate rising above the high of last week, which has been seen as a positive. However, as you can see, the rate kind of got moved back down below this level, below the high of last week. So in a way, for now, we just basically, it kind of forces us to remain still cautious, and maybe even on the neutral side, just because, again, if we would see that strong move higher, then yes, we could aim for some higher levels. But at the moment, it seems that the pair is struggling with that barrier, with these two barriers. So that's why we'll leave it for now here. We're just going to observe the price action, and we're not really going to do much here. Just like I said, we'll wait. We need those confirmation breaks here, initially above the high of last week, and then maybe, well, not maybe, but preferably a push above the June high here near the 0.9175 territory in order to aim for some higher levels. In terms of the downside, of course, a break of this upside line could do the trick for more sellers. And finally, Euro USD. So here the pair is moving nicely to the upside and managed to overcome this 1.1725 zone. I talked about this one, and what I was saying that in a way, if the 1.1725 territory does provide resistance today, then maybe we could see a bit of a correction here. So now the big question here is, we had a nice push above this barrier, but as you can see, the bears are getting kind of trying to get hold of this pair now and trying to kind of push the rate back below this 1.1725 zone. By the way, that's the marked by the inside swing low of the 24th of February of 24th of September 2018. So if by any chance the daily candle remains below this area today, well, maybe, just maybe, we could see a bit of a correction here to the downside. However, if it stays above it, then the next target is, it's the same as I mentioned this morning, the 1.1815 territory, marked by the highest point of September 2018. So keep your eyes on that one. But again, all eyes today are as well on this 1.1725 zone. So let's see where this daily candle will end today. If we manage to see this one staying below this level, then, well, I mean, maybe we could see a bit of a correction here to the downside. But again, like I said, I'll pick up on this tomorrow. We'll see how all this has performed. Don't get me wrong, at some point we will have a correction. However, for now it's just at a tricky spot here. On one hand, it does want to continue pushing further north. On the other hand, some might say that maybe it's a little bit overstretched already, so maybe a small correction to the downside could be due. But again, until we get that little kind of signal of a possible reversal, we cannot really talk about any downside yet. So keep your eyes on that one. So guys, I really hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for watching and listening. If you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. But for now, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.